Okay, here we are. 8.4 algebra. So let's get this on the show. This is going to be a lot of stuff today. I may have to break this into 2 lessons, so this is a good one. First of all, we'll start with there you go, little warm up, just like the old days. Oh, there you go, better. A little warm up, just like the old days. So, can you evaluate that expression if the x value is -1? Now what I'll do, I want you to hit pause right now. You go ahead and figure it out. I'll reveal the answers in a second. So hit pause. You've paused. Now you're back. The answer to number 1, you will have one of 2 answers. I love these. One of 2 answers. You're going to either have 13 or 11. And assuming you made the most common mistake. The most common mistake is, of course, our friend, our nemesis, the negative number. 13 or 11. One of those is correct. One of those is a very common mistake. When I first did this in my head, I made the mistake. I got this -1. If x is -1, -1 squared is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 plus 8 is 11. Wrong. -1. 4x squared minus -1. Remember, minus negative, 2 minuses, minus a negative becomes a positive. So the answer is 13. So that one, the answer would be 13. We're doing these today. We're taking quadratics and we're inserting an x value to find the y value. And that's what part of our lesson today, a main part of our lesson today. So there are the other 3. If you would like to do those on your own, I'll pause it. You can quiz your family out there, whatever you want. Make them do the same thing. So pause, figure those out. Then I'll reveal these in about 3 seconds. So pause it. And you're back. Very good. So these 3, if you were to insert 3 in there, the answer would be 4. Insert the x value into number 3, you'd end up with -1. And if you insert the -5 value into number 4, you would end up with a -13. Okay, so that is what the blue thing makes me look kind of weird, doesn't it? Anyway. Okay, so today we are all about the vertex, the axis of symmetry, and the B value. So we know what A does. The main thing to remember today, when A is positive, the graph opens upward. When A is negative, less than 0, it opens downward. Okay, those are big things to remember, and also remember that the C value in the quadratic function is the y-intercept. Today, we're worried about the B, but we're also worried about, or aware of, the axis of symmetry. We want to find out where that is. And there's a formula for that you're going to need to memorize. So you will need comp books. You need to write this down at some point in time. The formula is the axis of symmetry, the x value, is -b over 2a. So what we're doing today is this. We want to find, here's a quadratic that is not on the y value. It's been moved over. This line here is the axis of symmetry. It's an x value. We want to be able to find that x value from any quadratic function. To do that, we find the value of a. We find the value of b. We insert it into this equation here, -b over 2a. -b over 2a. That's the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to skip this now and go right to this -b over 2a. That's going to be a problem, and I'll tell you why. It's going to be a problem because there's the formula. As I told you this first week of school, when people who think they're bad at math or have a hard time at math, or when math goes bad for people, it's one of 2 reasons, or both. 1, fractions. Oh, fractions are a pain. As soon as we get to fractions or irrational numbers, people start going off the math deep end. The other problem is the negative number. Negative numbers throw people off. Doesn't make sense. With -b over 2a, we've got both of those things. We've got negative numbers and fractions. We need to be able to deal with those. It's got to be careful. So how do you see it? So here's the age-old question. We talked about this a long time ago. A fraction and a negative number. Where does this negative sign go? Does it go with the b? Does it go with the 2a? just go in front. And you all know that it really doesn't matter. I've seen some books, not ours, but I've seen some textbooks or websites have the negative sign always up there for negative b over 2a. When you say it, it sounds negative b over 2a. But I like to make it, I do it this way because I get confused. I do one of two ways. I pause when I say it. I should be pausing it. If you say it negative b over 2a, that makes it a little bit easier for me. So what I like to think of it as, and you can do this any way you want. In a way, even visually, I put a parentheses around the b over 2a. Then I can put my b in here, my a in there, and get the axis of symmetry. So what I'd like you to do is this. This is what we're going to do today. We want to find the axis of symmetry for this particular function right here. Cover that up. 2x squared plus 8x minus 1. You need to identify the a. You need to identify the b to figure out where the axis of symmetry is. You take those numbers. A is 2, b is 8. A is 2, b is 8. And when we figure that out, 8 divided by 2 times 2 is 4. The axis of symmetry is negative 2. So if I were to make the axis of symmetry my blue line here, the axis of symmetry of this parabola is at negative 2, right down there. Okay? Now we want to find the vertex. We want to find the point of the parabola. Now looking over here, the a is positive. That means it rolls up. It opens upward. So we got to find the place where it happens. So we take the negative 2. We know that the x value, the x coordinate of the vertex is negative 2. That's why we find the axis of symmetry. Take the negative 2, plug it into there. That's the y value. That's the main thing for today. We need to find the axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. It's the x value. You plug it back in to find the y value. In this case, we plug negative 2 into there. It looks like this. There's your function. We found the axis of symmetry, or the x value. We plug it in. Negative 2 squared. Remember order of operations. Negative 2 times 8. We substitute, and we end up with the y value being negative 9. So the vertex in this case is negative 2, negative 9. We got the negative 2 from negative b over 2a, negative 9 by plugging it in. So now, here is our axis of symmetry. We found the vertex now is negative 2 and 9, so I'll make up, which would be negative 2, and all the way down here, that is the vertex. Okay, that's how we want to find the vertex, the point. Since the graph opens upward, it is the negative value. Okay, now let's go over here again to this one. So here's a couple of examples just to practice finding those three. Then I'll stop this video and we'll go on to another one. Let me screen the whole thing here. So we have three values. Move that over so you can see that one. There you go. See three functions right here. This one, everything's a positive. Sorry, a is 2, b is 8. Identify those first. Second example, a is 3, b is negative 6. Third example, a is negative 4, b is negative 24. Kind of difficult to do, but we can do that. So to find the axis of symmetry for the first one, negative b, or negative, pause, b over 2a. We have negative b over 2a. Insert 8 for b, 2 for a. The x value, or the axis of symmetry, is negative 2. Take the negative 2, I plug it in. My vertex is negative 2, x value, negative 9, y value. Second one, you can go back and pause these. I'm going to put both of these down right now for you to look at. Get over there, get out of the way, and move that over there. You can see it all. Lovely. A is 3 down there. B is negative 6 up there. Simplify for 1. You find your y value of 2. Ordered pairs 1 and 2. Ordered pair here for the first one, negative 2, negative 9. Ordered pair over here, -3 over 17. I'm going to pause 1 second. Okay, I paused for a second. I should have had these ordered pairs written in for you. So the ordered pair here that's what we want, the vertex. Axis of symmetry is -2, which is the x value. You plug it in for the y value of -9. Over here, plug in 1 and 2 is my vertex. In both of these, the graph, A is positive, the graph is opening up. These are minimum values. That's our next video coming up here after this. Over here, my vertex is -3 and 17. This graph opens downward. That's going to be the positive value. So this is already up to 10 minutes, so I'm going to close this one up here. Digest all this. Second lesson will be following this, called part 2. So axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. That's the key.